However, audiences who have read the books know that there is far more to McGonagall's personality than has ever been shown on the screen. She may have been stern and witty, but the Transfiguration teacher in the Harry Potter books was also the Queen of Sass. From how she interacted with her students to the way she clapped back at characters like Dolores Umbridge, many of Minerva McGonagall's quotes from the books prove that her movie counterpart couldn't compare in regards to cheekiness. This cat wasn't hit over the head with a broomstick. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. From Harry's earliest days at Hogwarts, he saw that Professor McGonagall was not a teacher to be trifled with. She made it clear that nothing but hard work would earn satisfactory marks in her class. However, he also saw that she would stand up for her students when she knew they deserved it. In Chamber of Secrets, when Snape wanted to ban Harry from the Quidditch team after Mrs. Norris was petrified, McGonagall sassily pointed out that even if there was proof that Harry had harmed the cat, it had nothing to do with Quidditch. Of course, this had a lot to do with her desire to win the Quidditch Cup, which perfectly sums up Minerva McGonagall as a character, but there was some snarky logic to her words as well. I assure you that if you die, you need not hand it in. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. After Harry's first divination lesson with Professor Trelawney, he and his classmates found themselves less than in the mood to pay much attention in Transfiguration class. This was because Trelawney had predicted that Harry would die a tragic death, successfully making the entire class sullen and anxious. McGonagall noticed this, and once Hermione explained they had just come from divination, she casually asked which student would be dying that year. The Transfiguration professor explained that Trelawney liked to scare her students and told Harry in her own snarky way that unless he actually kicked the bucket, she would still hold him to his school work. Have a biscuit, Potter. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. When Dolores Umbridge came to Hogwarts in Order of the Phoenix, McGonagall's patience was tested. She had always strictly believed that the teachers of Hogwarts deserved respect, even those she often disagreed with, like Severus Snape. However, the new defense against the dark arts teacher challenged this philosophy. After Harry's first class with Umbridge, he was sent to his head of house for discipline after speaking out against the professor. He had expected to get in trouble, but McGonagall offered him cookies instead, proving that she was one of the best wizards in the Harry Potter series. McGonagall shared a few colorful opinions about Umbridge and requested that Harry try to keep his temper, and said that she would do the same. May I offer you a cough drop, Dolores? Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. McGonagall encouraged Harry, who was also much sassier in the Harry Potter books, to manage his temper when it came to Dolores Umbridge, and she tried to do the same herself. However, when it came to Umbridge's infuriating tendencies, McGonagall found that they were just too much to ignore. She managed to remain calm at first. However, when the High Inquisitor interrupted others several times with her maddening hem, McGonagall began to crack. She sassily offered Umbridge a lozenge, knowing full well that there was nothing wrong with the woman's throat. I do not generally permit people to talk when I am talking. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. When Umbridge became the High Inquisitor of Hogwarts, she began to audit each class to determine the quality of the students' education. Harry and his friends had seen the way that she treated teachers during her observations, and they had known that McGonagall wouldn't stand for it. McGonagall had tried to pay very little attention to Umbridge as she sat with her clipboard. However, Umbridge repeatedly interrupted the class, and she finally snapped. after treating her like a disobedient student. Harry and co. were happy to see that Umbridge didn't speak another word for the rest of the period. He has achieved high marks in tests set by a competent teacher. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. In a book moment that should have been in the Harry Potter movies, McGonagall met with Harry to discuss career choices for when he left Hogwarts. The idea of this was to outline the classes and grades that Harry would need to achieve his goals, but since Umbridge decided to join the meeting, it ended in a fiery argument instead. Umbridge claimed that Harry had not secured the required grades in defense against the dark arts to become an Auror as he aspired. However, McGonagall sassily inferred that Harry had only done poorly in her class because Umbridge was a poor teacher. A very good chance then. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Despite McGonagall's arguments on Harry's behalf, Umbridge was still determined that Harry could not cut it as an Auror. This infuriated McGonagall, who finally lost her temper with the woman, despite her advice to Harry to ignore what the High Inquisitor had to say. Umbridge stated that Harry had as good a chance of becoming an Auror with the Ministry of Magic as Dumbledore had of being reinstated as headmaster of Hogwarts. Of course, McGonagall could not resist but twist Umbridge's words, showing that she was not only witty but fiercely loyal to both Dumbledore and her students. Well, usually when a person shakes their head, they mean no. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. In the Order of the Phoenix book, Umbridge found the Room of Requirement because a girl named Marietta Edgecombe, Cho's best friend, had revealed its location. This resulted in an angry outbreak of boils across the girl's face, compliments of a curse from Hermione, which discouraged Marietta from giving Umbridge any more information. Therefore, when the Minister for Magic and Umbridge asked Marietta if Dumbledore's army had met several times, she would only shake her head. In a fury, Umbridge asked her what she meant, to which McGonagall was only too happy to give a snide answer. Just because she failed her charms. OWL Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. While McGonagall's sassiness was the best when it was aimed at Umbridge, it could also be beneficial in comforting students who lacked confidence. Of course, this student was often Neville Longbottom, who, despite never performing well in Transfiguration, McGonagall took a liking to. In Half-Blood Prince, McGonagall had the task of doling out school schedules for 6th-year students taking NEWT level classes. Neville had not secured the grades to advance in Transfiguration, and his grandmother had ridiculed him for qualifying in Charms instead. McGonagall cheekily shared some information about Neville's grand that he hadn't known to make him feel better. We teachers are rather good at magic, you know. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. When Harry returned to Hogwarts to search for the final lost Horcrux in Deathly Hallows, McGonagall was both surprised and delighted to see him. It became apparent that she respected him as an adult and was fiercely proud that he had been a member of her house. However, that did not spare him from her cheekiness. Upon hearing that Harry needed time to search the castle before Voldemort could stop him, McGonagall and the other heads of house decided to defend the school at any cost. This concerned Harry, who cared deeply for the professors. However, McGonagall's sarcastic quote demonstrated her bravery and that even in the worst of times, she still had her characteristic spunk.